Right now, the greatest mass mobilization in the history of the world is taking place. Men from cities, towns, farms, married men and single men, brothers, sweethearts, husbands, fathers and sons, businessmen and workers from the factories, and students from colleges and high schools all over America. They're mobilizing, joining up, or having their numbers pulled out of a fishbowl. And this war we're fighting today and tomorrow and the next day until we win is a war of the air. The whole world knows that. Our factories know that. So, interceptors, pursuit ships, light bombers, medium bombers, and flying fortresses are rolling out of those factories. 65,000 fighting planes this year. 100,000 fighting planes next year. And to keep them flying, 2 million men. Now that's where you come in. The Army Air Forces need 15,000 captains, 40,000 lieutenants, 35,000 flying sergeants. Well, how about it? Well, let's talk it over. Now, make no mistake about this thing, fellas. We're all going to be in this war soon, sooner than a lot of you realize. And nearly all the officers of this great Army Air Force that they're building today are going to be drawn from the ranks of you men, from high schools and colleges, those who join as aviation cadets now. So one day you say goodbye to Mother and Dad. They're pretty proud and happy, too. Especially Dad. His suspenders are about to bust. Yeah, you say goodbye to Sister Jane, and maybe Aunt Minnie. Oh, yeah, Uncle Ben, and Brother Joy. Those first few steps down the walk are the beginning of a great adventure. Wait a minute now. Aren't going to forget that sweet little bit of something next door. And you're on the train with a lot of other fellas. Probably many from your own school or neighborhood. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say, Uncle Sam bought your ticket. And your destination reads any one of a number of reception centers, maybe in California, maybe down in Texas. It's here that lasting friendships are made because you and your teammates are aiming for the same goal. That big, beautiful, wonderful V that spells victory. And now it begins. Now, here's a sort of a composite picture of what happens to you in the first few weeks of your aviation cadet training. You find your room, meet your roommate, get a haircut, Army style, and try on a new pair of shoes and a new uniform that really fits. Then, time to eat. Those chops are on the fire. Eat with a few hundred other guys just as hungry as you are. In ground school, officers with years of experience patiently explain what makes them fly. And then one day, when class is over, you get all rigged out in what the well-dressed birdman will wear. You feel like quite a guy as you meet your flying instructor. But always in your memory will be the thrill of that first beautiful morning when you took off for the first time. Now, what you're going to see next isn't considered exactly a part of the regular training course. But you're a chump if you don't include it in your curriculum. And you find out the effect those shiny little wings have on a gal. It's phenomenal. And now, mister, take the air. And he did. Well, time has marched on. And here you are, cruising along in a BT. That's basic trainer to you. And twisting your tail into a few acrobatics, and loops and barrel rolls and snap rolls. That's some fun, huh? And a few more weeks roll by. You find yourself in still another plane. An advanced trainer this time. Yes, indeed, you're really getting up in the world at the rate of nearly 200 miles an hour. But you think this is something. Well, now, just wait. Fellas, shake hands with Mr. B-17 and a few of his big brothers. Now, watch out now, he's tough. Those four motors roaring through the sky like a thunderstorm, they can't fool with them. American workmen, the finest master mechanics in the world, put those motors together. Made them live, made them breathe, made them roar. Yes, sir, a whole army of workmen, designers, engineers, and just plain guys who wanted to do something for their country. They put that B-17 together. A few thousand of these babies will win this war for us, and a few thousand guys like you in there flying them. And remember, we said something about a team. Well, 9 men are inside that plane, each with an important job to do. So let's go in and take a look around. Let's meet the team. Yes, sir, 9 fellas like yourself working together, as closely coordinated as a precision watch. Now get this straight. The pilot is not the most important fellow inside this plane. All 9 members of the crew are equally important. For example, the pilot and the co-pilot can take the plane off the ground and set it back down again, but where would they be without the navigator? Now meet him. He's the gentleman sitting right there, with his pencils and calculators. He's responsible for getting the giant bomber to its destination and back again. Now, you might like his job. Now, this fellow's a second lieutenant, draws $245 each month, and although he was good at mathematics, he didn't graduate from college. But he learned that the Air Forces could use his talents, and now he's a necessary part of the team. And now let's go up into the nose of Mr. B-17 and meet somebody who has an important job in that department. This is the bombardier, the boy who doesn't miss. You see, flying the plane is wasted motion unless this lad hits the target on the noggin. The finest pilots in the Air Force would be behind the 8 ball if the bombardier couldn't hit straight. And he's a full-fledged commissioned officer, too, wears his wings, draws the same pay as the pilot or the co-pilot. Now, back in the main body of the plane, we've got some more important positions. This fella is the #1 engineer. He keeps the motors turning and the thousands of working parts all through the bomber inspected and in repair. And then comes the radio operator, who keeps the bomber in constant communication with its home base, and the photographer, who keeps a photographic record of what takes place on the earth below while the bomber's on its mission. He's sort of an official scorekeeper, checking up for future reference. Now, the remaining members of the flight crew are #2 engineer and #2 radio man. So you see, being in the Air Forces isn't all piloting, or all navigating, or all bombardiering. It's teamwork.
Up we go into the wild sky, young